What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to Trading Live with Bubba. Now, another day of nothing happening. We had CPI yesterday. The markets got crippled, and then they came all the way back, and today they just are going higher. I don't care which way they go. Nobody should care which way they go. What you should care about is their activity in which you can trade off of. That's what we should care about. Is there trade we can make? Okay, and right now there is not much trade to make. It's unfortunate. It is what it is, and this is one of the biggest lessons that you can learn in trading. Is sometimes there's just nothing to trade. Okay, and you're watching. I mean, we traded live this morning for the number, and there wasn't even any trades. There was 4 possibilities that were much higher risk than normal. So again, but we'll see. Again, I don't predict that there won't be any activity. All I can do is watch. And certainly, if it wasn't for being with you all, I wouldn't be here. I'm probably on my way. It's a little early for poker, but getting ready to go. Okay, no golf today. Too cold and too rainy. But at the end of the day, we'll take a look at the rest of our stuff. Here's a pretty classic trade. Again, I'm not saying you should have made it, but here was a standard blow off to the downside, and then they pop back up today. But as we go to our regular window of Apple, okay, Apple is getting closer to a point. I would say if it gets a little bit over 240, I'd be looking to sell it. Again, not to get short for an extended period of time, but look for, probably right now, anything we'll do now will go out until the 21st. But here I have nothing right now. I need a little bit bigger a rally. Amazon, same thing, in the middle of nowhere. Again, when there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do. And you have to recognize that there is nothing really to do. Because all you're doing now, if you take a trade here, you're flipping a coin, which way it's going to go. Coin has earnings today. So yes, it's having a big rally, which is interesting because Bitcoin is getting hammered, yet coin is flying. But A, it's earnings. Okay, so there's nothing to do. And B, we're not in a spot to do anything anyways. So I wouldn't be making a trade here. Crowd, one we put on the other day, which we're losing on at the moment. Okay, that's for tomorrow. We'll see what happens, but certainly I wouldn't mind selling it again for next week. You get these parabolic moves. There's going to be some pullback. I'm not going to do anything right now, but it is one I'd be watching. Meta, there's nothing to do here. Google, one we had bought the other day, is working out just fine. Okay. Again, it should cash, which is good. Okay, but right now, again, you could do it again for next week. But if you already have an open position, wait till tomorrow and see what it looks like. I wouldn't be adding to positions here. Again, I'm trying to be much more conservative in the world of trading right now. Let's just go back to the active screen if there is any action. There's a potential trade maybe going to show up here. Not going to be enough action. Okay, potentially in the Russell, but I'm not interested in playing it. Again, nothing really to do, so we'll go back, and then we'll go back and look. IWM, again, this is one we looked at the other day, but we said we needed it to come down, and it did. So this was, again, right here. I'm not looking at it right now. Yesterday would have been an opportunity if you're learning and watching from what we're doing. Microsoft is already off, so we need that to come back a lot lower again, or obviously go a lot higher. MSTR, waiting for it to come down a little bit further. Again, we're kind of in a weird situation. If you're not noticing, the markets are really lacking volume. Okay, so this is problematic. Okay, lack of activity, lack of action creates not much to do. Okay, Nugget, which we did the other day, not working out so well. Okay, still right about where we sold it. But again, it may or may not work out. I would, again, for sure, look at it again tomorrow after this one expires. Again, I don't like to start doubling up and adding to positions that when the markets are not cooperating. I think that's very important to understand. that we need the markets to cooperate with us so that we can, get the higher probability setups. NVIDIA, okay, again, nowhere, nothing to do here, right in the middle. And they have earnings next week, so probably not worth looking at right now. The Qs are something to look at. They're having a pretty explosive rally. In fact, now the Qs, you can have your choice, okay? You can do for today, okay? Do you want to try the dailies, or you can do it for tomorrow, okay? Again, one of the nice things about the dailies these days, so let's say if we looked at the 230, hold on a second, wrong day. I'm gonna look at it for today, okay? The 235, 236, a little close, but at 35 cents, I think that's worth a shot, and I'm going to go ahead and take that shot. Okay. Big rally up. I would expect it to slow down a little bit. And this is one I would be watching. As long as it's overbought, I'd be selling it every day. Okay. That's why we go for so much more credit. Okay. We're not selling it for 10 cents. We're trying to get 40%. Okay. A return. Okay. And my Q trade did fill. Okay. Which is fine. SMCI been kind of wild. We talked about it the other day. There wasn't much to do and had earnings, so that we weren't going to make a trade. Now you may want to look at it as a potential sale up in here at 43. You might want to sell. Let's see what they look like. Actually, let me go back here first, just to make sure. So you're getting a little bit of a spike up in the Dow, but look at the lack of interest in volume. Okay. So when you're trying to trade off of the emotions of others, okay, this is not a very emotional market right now. It's just kind of just trading. Okay. There's not a lot of panic or fear or chasing. Okay. And I think it's something that you have to, recognize and watch, okay, to be prepared for. Okay. Certainly, again, this would be a highly risky trade in the Dow because you've got no action. Okay. This looks good to sell into, but this does not look good. So this looks like it's just a drive higher without any real overall activity. So I would just pass it and move on. SMCI, we will look at, though, as we were talking about before. SMCI for next week. The 43.44 is about 35 cents. Okay. I would go ahead and I would take that. Okay. I'll take that. Very overbought. It should come in a little bit. XYZ. They've got earnings next week, so we'll stay away from that. The Spider, not quite high enough, just reaching some level. Tesla, which we did the other day, which worked out perfect. Okay. And I've actually already closed it. I closed it for about 12 cents. Got $1.20 credit. So, I just took it off. Why screw around with it? Win, which we didn't do anything with. We said we could have, but we chose not to. But it did do, again, what I want you to recognize is that they're doing what we expect them to do based on the conditions of the market. Okay. And Zoom, nothing. Okay. We had nothing the other day. We have nothing now. We'd missed it. So let's go back and see if there's anything here doing. And again, really, unfortunately, there is very little activity and very little to do. Now we'll watch this. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay. Again, obviously, the show goes a lot smoother and better if there's participation from those of you wherever you're trading from. But certainly, we would like to help you out and give you some education here. Again, from a practice standpoint, not a real trade. The Dow would be one I would look at, and I don't have an entry yet, so I would wait. I'd be waiting for a red bar to come in, but certainly it is overbought. But again, the volume is so light that it's hard to get that big move that you're looking to get. I think that's always something that we have to recognize, and I've got a couple others to look at over here. Here's one that I did yesterday, and you can do it again today if you're so inclined. I mean, this is making new highs. It is parabolically higher. Certainly, in fact, I'm going to look at this. I might add to my position right here. Hold on. UPST. Oops. UPST. And let's see here. What do we got here? 90. This is a little bit not enough VIG, not enough juice for me. I would rather, if I were going to do something here, I would rather sell something like deep in the money, like sell, let's say the 88. Sell the 88 and buy the 94. That's for 362 credit. Not a bargain. I'm going to pass. Okay. That equates to the 94 put, which is trading at 360. So to save 20 cents, I'm not all that interested. So let's move back on and see. And then there's Palantir, which continues to rise. Kind of calmed down and went sideways. So there's really not a lot to do there. I would wait. And other than that, there's not a lot going on. Let's go back here. See, this is why we were afraid of the Dow. Not afraid of it, but just realizing that the probability was not that big in our favor. So there really wasn't an overall reason to go ahead and grasp and get into it, because there's not enough volume, which means there's not enough emotion. There's not enough speed to the market. There's not enough participation to the market right now. So for my money, I'd rather sit it out. Okay. Remember, you got 241 days a year to trade. Okay. So if you get 100 good days out of the 241, you can make a lot of money. Okay. But the worst thing that most do is they feel that they have to be active or involved every day in every market. And, again, you can build some positions directionally over time, but when you're short-term trading, you got to have a very high probability position. Okay. And these overbought and oversold conditions change, based on the time frame you're looking at. Okay. I mean, certainly as we looked at the Qs, those are overbought. Are they going to come down? I cannot guarantee anything. All I can tell you is I made the trade. I'm in, and I'm not concerned about it. I mean, again, I've lost some money before. I'm not guaranteeing victory. I'm giving you, in my eyes, the highest amount of probability. And this is a market that's been in consolidation for 2 months. And now you're at the top end of consolidation again, plus you're overbought. So for me, I go, okay, that works for me. Okay, I can take that chance, but I'm not going to be very active. In fact, more than likely, when we're done here, I'll probably be on my way to play poker. Like I said, it's raining today, so there's no golf today. But there's no reason to sit and stare at a machine, okay, that is giving you virtually no action. Okay. And that's something that you always have to remember is if there's no action, what am I going to do? Okay. Can I force the market to do what I want? This isn't playing with your friends and trying to muscle a market. You try to muscle this market, you'll get muscled. Okay. So again, I think you just have to, unfortunately, be patient and wait for your opportunities. But you can see the volume continues to dry up every minute of the day. We're losing volume. Okay. Without volume, without market participation, it's very challenging for us to be able to trade and make any real money. Okay. I think that is something that you have to understand. Okay. That in these conditions, they're very tough. Okay. And even if you were trading during the number was very quiet as well. And again, sometimes there's just nothing to trade. Okay. And if there's nothing to trade, then why trade? Why give away your money? Remember, you're trading with your capital. Okay. Why put your capital at risk in a low probability position? Okay. Think of this as a big game. Okay. Think of it as a big poker game. Okay. Or a backgammon game if you play. Those are mathematical games that the better player is going to win over time, just like trading. The better trader is going to win over time, but it's the ability to throw it away and not worry about what's going on and not worry about what you may be missing versus always having to feed yourself to be participating. And I don't see there's a potential coming. No, it's not going to be enough buy, but the euro currency, the Dow is still going straight up, which we didn't make a trade in that just for not because we knew it was going straight up, just because there wasn't enough edge for us to try to get involved. Okay. And I think that's something that you have to really take seriously is there an edge? Can I take care of that edge? Okay. And the answer is, well, I don't see where the advantage is. Okay. Certainly, yes, I'd love to sell the Dow here. Okay. It is overbought on a short-term basis, but the problem I see is I don't see enough speed that will bring it down far enough to make it worth the risk that I have to take. Okay. And that is something that we always have to be cognizant of is what is the risk? Where are we? And do we have an opportunity? And quite frankly, I don't see it. Okay. Now you might have something coming up here in gold. You're getting some selling now. We might be getting a buy in gold. Okay. The Dow is now coming down a little bit, but think about it. If you just sold the absolute top, which you wouldn't have, okay, because we could never sell there, okay, you'd be up about 20 ticks right now. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to take the 20 ticks, but I don't want to risk 80 to get 20. Okay. So maybe gold will give us a trade here. I don't know. It's certainly going down. We need this part to accelerate. We need the volume to get up to about here. Okay, that'll show me that there's a little bit of emotional selling there. And obviously, it's already bouncing back a little bit. So really, again, not much to do. And just to give you an idea, I normally will trade on a busy day in the futures market. I will trade in the thousands of contracts. Today, so far to this moment, I have traded 82. Okay. And I'm just about done for the day, unless something crazy happens. And fortunately, I've always got my laptop with me wherever I'm at in case a trade breaks out, some action breaks out. But once again, do you see anything that you'd want to take your risk and put your money in play right here? And my answer is no. There's nothing that I see here that I'd want to put at risk. Okay. I don't want to put my money at risk into a condition that I'm watching right now. Okay. And I hope that makes sense to everybody, but since nobody talks to me, just like my wife, nobody asks me questions, so I can't tell if you're understanding or getting what I'm talking about. But again, we'll watch for, again, gold is close, but again, am I interested in a market that may give me one trade? Okay. That's the next question. I mean, if it was a clear cut, no issue, and it was there, win or lose. Again, I'm not worried about win or lose. I'm worried about the probability setups, because if I continue to play high probability setups, then I'm going to win. Okay. I may lose this one. Okay. And this is very, very close. Okay. Now, if we got some big seller here in the last minute, maybe it would create something. But again, it's very close. But for me, for my money, I'm not really all that interested in it. So I'm sorry, guys. There's nothing to do today, really. We put a little trades on the Qs we sold for today, if you did, and SMCI. In the meantime, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Thanks so much. Adios.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.